Even if we look at kind of your decisions of staying or trying to stay in your current location, you even kind of said to yourself, you've kind of been considering someone else in that world, in that future. But I think when we just focus on you, when we just focus on what's best for you and make those decisions, we kind of look at this move happening, right? And this is what we see here with the card of the Hermit. When you're only thinking about yourself, the answer is to move. The answer is to move location and kind of have this fresh start in this fresh location, is what we see there with the card of the Hermit, the card of the World. So yes, we are looking at a timeline of Capricorn season, which I think lines up with maybe what you're looking for as well, possibly a little later, not too much later. We are seeing here with the card at 10 of Wands, there is a lot to handle in order to make this happen. I'm not gonna beat around the bush about it, right? It's a big move. It's a lot to fix. It's a lot to plan for. It's going to be overwhelming at times. It's not always going to be so easy or so smooth. It's going to be overwhelming sometimes financially. It's going to be overwhelming, not so much or more so kind of on practicality level, actually moving your physical things. That is going to be, I think, the hardest part. So just bear that in mind. Those things are coming through, so I wanted to mention it, even though it may seem a little bit obvious. Those are things that we see coming up right now. I do feel like here with the Knight of Pentacles, we are seeing things fall into place pretty quickly once you return home. We are kind of seeing conversations beginning right when you get home in terms of work, conversations beginning in Capricorn season, in terms of positions, in terms of career. We are seeing conversations begin about career and about opportunities again in Capricorn season. Likely you will be offered a position before the end of January. So we are seeing things much more faster than they have in your current location. They're moving much faster in your new location, right? So we do see that happening. We also kind of see this idea that a lot of new things are coming into your life at that same time. You're meeting new people, likely in your new work, likely in your new position that you are taking kind of late January, but you're also meeting new friendships. We also see you possibly meeting new romantic interests. So we're seeing a lot of new energy and a lot of focus on that new energy. I feel like it will be really important for you to really be open to all of these new things. It's almost like you're going from one extreme to the other in terms of you're letting all of this new stuff in at once. Again, it can feel very overwhelming, especially because you've been very independent for so long, and then all of a sudden we see all of these people around you and all of these people wanting to connect with you. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not even a bad thing, but it can be overwhelming at first. So make sure you are taking care of yourself. Oh no, you said it froze. Let me know when you can see me and hear me okay. Sorry, Lily. Okay. Yes, so I was just talking about we're going from one extreme to another, especially because of kind of your independence, and we're going to see that once you move home, you're kind of surrounded by people, you're always spending time with people, you're always connecting with people, right? You're going to be very social, especially in those first couple months, so just be aware of that. I was just saying how make sure you're taking care of your mental health, make sure you're taking care of yourself in general. It's going to feel like a big change, not just physically and geographically in terms of the location, but a big change in terms of your social life, how you're spending your time and who you're spending your time with. Not only are these feeling like very new connections, but they're feeling like very active connections where you're seeing these people multiple times a week. You're having a very, very active social life with a lot of these new friendships, which is good. I do think it's going to be good for you. And I also think it's going to provide this feeling that there's more of a life for you, this feeling that there's more going on for you in this place, there's more going on, you have more things to do, more connections, not necessarily to say that you're leaving everyone else behind or that you are just forgetting about all these other connections that you left behind. I think what we see is this is the best for your happiness. So I do think this is the right choice for you at this time. With the 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups in reverse, I don't think anyone is going to try to stop you in terms of the move itself. I don't think anyone's going to stand in your way, so to speak. But what I will say is we're seeing the theme of friendship come in at the last minute. Obviously, we talked a little bit about that with G this morning. I think C, likely we see some attempts at friendship, right? And maybe that's ending in a little bit of a weird place, but we see both of them kind of wanting to be good friends to you in these last kind of few weeks or a couple months. That is kind of what we're seeing. At this point, it does look like you will still make contact with Z. At this point, it doesn't look like it's going to progress enough to the point where it's worth you staying or they are worth staying for. You're still going to go ahead and move and go through with your personal plans to move. So those are the things that we're seeing. I think at this point, we should kind of shift our focus as you have done and commit our focus, just because we kind of see you starting all new, starting all fresh, I guess, is kind of the cards that we see coming in right now as being the best option for you. Obviously, you do have some connections here or in your space where you're in right now, in your physical location. You do have maybe some leads, professional leads. You have this thing, you have that thing. And it kind of feels like, even though we have those things, it still feels like it's in your best interest to kind of choose the new at this point. So yeah, we're following that at this point. I do think things will work out financially, professionally, and we're actually seeing a lot more faster movement on those things comparatively to kind of what you've experienced over the last couple months in your current place. So yeah, thank you, Lily. It's bittersweet, but I do think it is ultimately going to be the right decision for you, like I said. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys for the love. If you are looking to get on the list for personal readings, it is open, as I mentioned. Right now we're going over to Reina. After Reina, we are going to Lars. After Lars, we're going to M. So we're going in that order. Thank you so much. We're going to Reina, Lars, and then M. Okay, yes, no worries. Reina, thank you so much for that. Give me a moment to read this through and then we'll go ahead and get into it for you. Okay, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's just go ahead and get into it. I kind of just want to look at all of these factors here. Where are we seeing this connection be at? Kind of the World 10 of Wands. This is very random. I'm not sure what he told you, but we're kind of seeing the timelines possibly not line up. I'm not accusing him of not telling the truth, but it kind of feels like he has exaggerated maybe how long he's known this person for or has been seeing this person for. It feels like they only met in the last 10 days or so. So if they did happen to tell you any longer than that, maybe you're seeing something kind of fishy going on there. It does look like he only met this person in the last 10 days. This is very new. This is very, very early days in this connection. So that's the first thing that we see coming in. Bit of a red flag if they are exaggerating about it. Maybe they're a little bit embarrassed, whatever it may be. But we do see that they met this person very recently in the last 10 days is what you're seeing. I think what we're seeing here with the card of the Hanged Man, this person is a fine person. This person has a lot of great qualities. I will say that about them. I think for him specifically, this person really represents an idea rather than an actuality, rather than a practicality. He likes the idea of her a lot more than he will like the actual her, if that makes sense. And I think really what you see going on with this is very, 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 very common in connections in such early stages. When we meet someone for the first time, we're trying to put on a persona, right? We're trying to give them a great impression. We're trying to represent ourselves as the best version of ourselves, the shiniest version of ourselves. I think he's very attracted to maybe the success that she has, maybe the things that she has, where she's at in life, right? It does kind of match maybe his type on paper. I think below the surface, below the surface, there's not really that much going on there in terms of actually liking her. And I honestly don't, and this is honestly no fault to her, I honestly don't think he can offer her emotional availability. I don't think he is truly emotionally invested in her. Again, it feels a lot more surface level, not so much from her side, but from his side, in terms of him getting attached, overly attached to the idea of her, and maybe getting a little bit carried away with that. So to answer your question here, does he genuinely like her? Does he see a future? I don't necessarily think he kind of sees a future with her. I think he just likes what she can offer him right now, and that kind of seems a little bit mean. I think it's almost a little bit of a disservice to her, but that's kind of what we're seeing from his perspective. That's not necessarily what I think of her, but what I'm seeing from his perspective is, wow, like she could be so good for me, she can tick this box, she can tick that box, and not really listen to what this person is saying, which again, I do think is a little bit insulting to her. Maybe that's just because it's such early stages. She isn't showing the more authentic or the deeper side to her yet. We see him being very, very attracted to her outer shell. I guess that's kind of how I would put it. So no, I wouldn't say that he genuinely likes her. I don't think he actually knows her well enough to like her. I don't think you see genuine romantic feelings. I will say we're seeing a lot of surface level, kind of outer shell attraction, and we're also seeing this idea that she could be good for him, she could do this, she could do that, and him kind of get carried away with that. And I think it's kind of insulting to her, because he's spending a lot more time thinking about what she could do for him rather than get to know her, or get to know her heart, or get to know her beneath the surface. So no, I don't think we are necessarily seeing that be lasting. I think she is very likely to catch on to that quite quickly, and I think she's gonna be the one, honestly, to maybe ditch him, is what we see, which I don't really like using that term, but we are possibly seeing her kind of let this go, or tell him that she's not interested over text, something like that, in the next kind of 8 days to 2 weeks. So just bear that in mind. It's kind of all of this build up, all of this climax, all of this build up and not enough climax. I guess that's kind of how I would describe it. Again, he very much is attracted to the shiny side. He's very much attracted to what she has to offer, and not necessarily so much attracted to her, which is a little bit sad, because I think she maybe is looking for something as real and genuine as anyone else is. I don't think she's necessarily going to get that, and she's probably not going to get it from him either. Maybe she's also attracted to what he's presenting himself to be, and not actually who he is below the surface either. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Very interesting update. What are we seeing? What can I tell you? Kind of going forward, kind of the Magician, King of Wands, 8 of Cups. I think, excuse me, I think this week is going to be a little bit odd, a little bit strange. I do think that his energy is kind of distracted with this other person. That's me just being blunt, being honest with you. I think when we go into kind of early next week, you're going to see them kind of being a lot more active in making these plans with you, making these trips, making these work situations for you. I do think he is going to be really a lot more active, and this is kind of coming at the same time this other connection, if we can even really call it that, is kind of slowing down, tapering off. You're going to see them have a lot more space, a lot more time, a lot more energy for your connection on a professional level, on a friendship level as well. I think this also is a little bit of a red flag, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much this afternoon, but we're also seeing that be a little bit of a red flag, right? Because why does he suddenly have all this time for you now that this other connection seems to be kind of falling to the wayside, or kind of fizzling out? It's like they'll have all of this time for you then, and I don't think that is necessarily the nicest feeling. But yes, we will see that from them. I do think he wants to spend time with you, but I think he is in the habit now of getting very, very distracted, and with kind of, it's starting to become a pattern. It's starting to become kind of part of their history. I think they want to spend time with you, but they keep kind of getting distracted with what's in front of them or what's easiest, and that's kind of the situation that we see here. So make your own decisions. Honestly, at this point, I think it's a little bit insulting, not even just on a romantic level. Obviously there's that aspect, but I think it's also kind of disrespectful on a friendship level that they don't seem to be able to be present with you because of these like distractions. Yeah, make your own decisions. Reina, I send you love, I send you healing. Yes, Naya, I will be back tomorrow. Currently, I'm just working my way through the list for personal readings in the order they came in, guys. If you're still looking to get on the list, it's still open. Right now, we're going over to Laz. Laz, if you're here, please let me know and let me know what you're looking for in the comments. I don't have a question for you. If you were just looking for a general reading, we can do that. Or you can let me know what you're looking for in the comments and we will get started. Okay, thank you, Laz. After Laz, we're going over to M. After M, we have Lily. So we're going in that order, guys. Thank you. Okay, Laz, let's go ahead and take a look. We have a general reading for you. What messages, what insight, what guidance do I have for you this afternoon? So I'm starting with an oracle card here. The first thing that comes in maybe sounds a little bit obvious. We have the Oracle of Inner Temple. This is really the guidance to bring all your energy back to yourself. A lot of the time you're focusing too much on other people. Maybe you're spending too much of your time, too much of your energy on other people. We are seeing here with the card of Inner Temple, when we put everyone else before us, we start to neglect ourselves, right? And that's kind of something we see going on with you right now. There's this advice, there's this guidance to fill yourself back up, to come back to yourself in order to be a better friend, a better partner, a better person to these other connections in your life at the same time. So just be aware of that. We are kind of seeing that at your center. And I think being more connected to yourself and taking better care of yourself, recentering yourself as the main character in your life will have a positive effect on any other issue or any other challenge that you're having. So let's go ahead and take a look at what else we see here. What can I tell you? 8 of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. So talking about this in a little bit more detail here, sometimes taking care of yourself is going to involve letting go of things that you know aren't good for you. This could be people, this could be relationships. A lot of the time, this can be habits, this can be behaviors, things that are not making you feel good. This could be habits, this could be behaviors, like I said, things that maybe you have tried to quit, things that you have tried to let go of before and haven't previously been successful at. Here with the 8 of Cups, you are advised to let go of things, and sometimes we find ourselves attached to people or attached to habits, attached to behaviors because we want to have control in our life. Having this thing and having this thing or having this relationship helps us to feel in control of our life, and we're scared that if we let go of it, there won't be anything to come in to fulfill its place. There won't be anything to come in to stabilize us or ground us. We're kind of hanging on to this thing, this habit, this issue, this person, whatever it may be, almost as an anchor. We need to be our own anchor. You need to be your own anchor. That's what we're seeing here with the Oracle of Inner Temple. You need to be your own anchor in your life. You can't be dependent on a habit. You can't be dependent on a behavior, a person, a thing. It has to be you. You have to be the anchor is what we're seeing. And I do think when we're able to release, what we're going to see for you, Laz, is you're going to create space in your life. You're going to have kind of this physical, emotional, energetic space in your life for new things to come in. So if you've been wanting new things, but you want to do this new thing, you want to start this new passion, whatever it may be, but you feel like you don't have space for it, whether that's financially, logistically, physically, literally, energetically, you will create space by firstly letting go of things that don't serve you, letting go of things that don't make you feel good. We are kind of seeing a sign, an opportunity come in the next 8 days or so. This is going to be a virtual sign or some kind of virtual opportunity. So I would make sure to be checking your texts, your emails, your social media. We're seeing some kind of opportunity come up in the next 8 days. There's going to be like this green light to move forward, the green light to move forward with your life is what we see. And we can't do that if we're not centered. We can't do that if we're not anchored in our own life. We can't do that if we're putting everyone else before us. So lots of things for you to think about. I know it's a lot of information. Basically what we're seeing here for you, Laz, is there are things that you need to let go of if you're looking for new things to come in, if you're looking for more money, if you're looking for more love, if you're looking for more happiness, whatever it may be. Firstly, you need to kind of let go of the things that aren't serving you, the things that aren't making you feel good, is what we see. So yes, don't forget about yourself. Don't neglect yourself. You are the main character. There is nobody else that your life should revolve around. It should be you, first and foremost. Thank you, Laz. Okay, let's go ahead and keep moving with the list. If you guys are still looking to get on the list for personal readings, it is open. I do come back to the free yes or no questions at the end as well. For now, I'm just moving through the list for personal readings. Right now we're going to M, so let me know you're here. After M, we have Lily, and then we have Joanna. So we're going in that order. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Exciting times. He's met your family, so I think that is super significant. And I do kind of want to check in on the girlfriend question. I don't know if it's just that they feel like you're already so close, you're already in a relationship, he's already met your family, that it seems to have kind of skipped that step, but I do want to check in with it because it feels like it's something that's important to you, and kind of also this person's feelings, their general energy as well. So let's go ahead and get into it for you. Where are we seeing? Yes, exactly. Maybe we're skipping that step a little bit, and maybe we need to kind of enforce that this step is still important. You may want to be his wife, right? You may want to be that, but also at the same time, we also want to get to the girlfriend stage. We also want to have all the steps, I guess. We don't want to skip steps. Even if we're moving quickly, and even if we're moving down the steps quickly, we don't necessarily want to skip them. We still want to enjoy them, I guess. But let me go ahead and jump into it. King of Cups card of the Emperor in reverse. Two things that we see. First of all, I do believe this person loves you. We see this here with the King of Cups. I do believe they love you. I do believe they are in love with you. I do believe this is all very, very real for him, right? Which is true. Hopefully you see that. Hopefully you feel that in their actions towards you, because they're definitely feeling a lot right now. You also see here with the card of the Emperor in reverse. It's so interesting because I feel like so much is happening in terms of this connection. There's so much that you guys are talking about or even planning for in terms of the future. But what's kind of beautiful about it is it doesn't feel hard. It doesn't feel difficult to do these things, at least from their side here with the card of the Emperor in reverse. It almost feels like they are kind of like letting the universe take control. And I feel like that's kind of what you both have had to do, or both have had to kind of accept or take that risk on the universe, take that risk on life, right? And it's almost like we're letting the universe drive right now, and we're kind of just watching where this takes us. And that's kind of what we see from him. And maybe this relates back to the girlfriend question a little bit as well, is they don't feel the need to kind of control you or own you or have this like possession over you, because they feel like you guys are together. You're together in this experience. They feel like you guys are moving forward with this experience. They don't feel the need to be controlling over you or controlling over the experience in general, because they kind of feel like they're just following the path right now. They're just following the universe. We're letting the universe drive, which is very interesting. We see that there with the card of the Emperor in reverse. You do see here with the card of the High Priestess and the Three of Cups, their focus is very much you. You are a priority, pretty much their number one priority is what we see, which is lovely to see. You are their focus. I think something else that's also significant is moving forward and kind of thinking about the concept of marriage and long-term stability. This is something that you both want. You both have been very open about wanting a partner, wanting long-term stability, wanting long-term commitment. I think it's true that they want all of those things. And I think also we're seeing both of your past experiences kind of be significant in this. There are things that have happened in your past that have maybe made you more guarded or made you more careful about relationships, and there are things that have happened in his past where you're both not only very ready to make these bigger commitments or make these bigger steps to each other or take these bigger steps together, but you're also very prepared for it. And I think because of your past experiences, you're more prepared than maybe most people would be or other people would be, which is significant. It's a good thing as well. Overall, we are seeing a lot of positives right now. I think the future looks very bright, very sunny. I think what we see is that spiritual connection is there. We're also seeing, and I think I mentioned this when looking at other connections you've had in your life, you've had the spiritual aspect, but kind of they haven't been able to follow through on practicality or intention or love or emotion, right? We're kind of seeing him check all of those boxes. There's not just a spiritual connection, but there's also this emotional availability and emotional vulnerability that you have been looking for. So as much as you're checking a lot of his boxes, I also see you checking a lot of his boxes as well. So yeah, I see things continuing to go well. Possibly we are seeing them talk about proposing to other people as well, possibly letting other people know that they think that you're the one, they think that they're going to marry you. Very possibly we do see that happening right now. Honestly, I think the proposal could happen this year, could happen more specifically in Capricorn season, which is the very end of December, beginning of January. Possibly we see a proposal happening around that, which I feel like it's getting closer and closer, right? It's kind of what we see. That's a big one. I do also see you guys likely moving in together in the new year, possibly February of the new year as well. This seems like far away. It's really not. We're looking at kind of 3 or 4 months from now. So I think things could happen very quickly, especially after that proposal. I do think right now we are looking at kind of confirmation of a relationship. You guys are in a relationship, you guys are in a connection, you are his partner, you are his girlfriend within the next 2 weeks. And then we're kind of seeing this even bigger step, much bigger step happen at the end of the year. So things seem to be kind of keep moving forward is what we see. I honestly don't see any red flags or any kind of negatives to come at this point. It doesn't really look like you guys are going through any major challenges, which is nice. I'm sure those challenges will come later, but as of right now, it feels like you get to just enjoy this connection and you deserve that. So I encourage you to keep enjoying it, kind of letting and trusting the universe to drive for you, as maybe we mentioned in your reading. But yeah, we all have those attitudes. Okay, let's go ahead and keep moving with the list. Next up, we're going to Lily. If you're here, go ahead and let me know. After Lily, we're going to go over to Joanna. If you guys are still looking to get on the list for personal readings, the list is open. I will be coming back to the free yes or no questions as well. But yeah, this is your last chance if you're looking to get on the list. Okay, let me just check for you, Lily. I have your question in front of me. Okay, let's jump into it for you. We are keeping this private as you requested. Excuse me. Very dry air where I am. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and just jump into it. I think here with the card, Align Your Life, truly this news is pretty surprising, right? I do believe this news is going to be very surprising. When he hears of this news, it's going to be very surprising. As I said, I don't think he knows yet. I do think he will know this week. By the end of this week, I do believe Z will be aware of this. As much as it's surprising, it's also very confronting. And I think there are kind of a few occasions, maybe less dramatic, but a few occasions over the last kind of 6 months or so in this connection that have been confronting. And I think a lot of this has to do with the third party, kind of the third party putting them in a situation or them separating from the third party in a way that they start to reflect your relationship. There have been a lot of situations that have been very confronting is what I'm trying to say here. And I guess what we've seen is every time they've been confronted with a situation, a surprise situation, caught off guard with their own feelings, whatever it may be, they have been aware that changes need to happen. And the issue is we're kind of seeing a similarity here. And this is what we see here with the Oracle of Align Your Life. This is the idea that they know something needs to change. And this is coming through when they hear this news, of you moving. They're like, oh my gosh, something needs to change. I need to change our relationship. I need to change the situation. It's kind of frustrating though, because we've seen this happen maybe 5 or 6 times at this point, where they're like, oh my gosh, something needs to change. I need to take my chance. I need to change our situation. I need to change our relationship. So I feel like that is one way in which this is a little bit disappointing. Yes, we're seeing them caught off guard and kind of surprised, probably even sad by the news, but it's kind of the same thing where they're confronted with needing to make a change. Just doesn't necessarily mean that they will make that change, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that they will fix their life. I think even if you look at their life, honestly, over the last couple of years, they know that things need to change. They know that it doesn't fit. This person doesn't fit with them. The situation doesn't fit with them. They don't feel happy. They don't feel successful, but they haven't done enough at this point to dramatically change their life. And in the same way, they haven't done enough at this point to dramatically change your relationship, is what we see. So I think this news will affect them, but I think it feels similar to previous times, previous situations, in terms of they're like, oh my gosh, something needs to change. Maybe I don't know exactly what needs to change. Maybe I don't know exactly how I need to change things. I do think that you will see them reaching out with communication, and it feels like the communication honestly is going to be a little bit lackluster. So I do see them most likely finding out about the move this weekend. I see them reaching out to you most likely middle of next week, between Wednesday and Friday of next week. And I do believe they're kind of asking you about your move, asking you about your plans, your timeline. Again, not really making a move romantically. I think you would need a lot more from them. You would need them to kind of have to stand up in their feelings, have to admit, have to express love, have to express a desire to be in a relationship with you for you to actually change your mind on your plans. And I don't think they're going to do as much as that, I guess, is what we're kind of seeing from him. With the kind of Death, Page of Swords in reverse, 7 of Wands, we're kind of seeing things happen much more slowly for them, and this has kind of been a theme. As much as there have been many beautiful parts to your relationship, there has also been this idea of you kind of moving ahead in life a lot and kind of leaving them behind. And I think this will be kind of a classic example of that, of you're moving first, and we kind of see him moving, going home, yes, but I don't see this happening until June or July of next year. So again, kind of 6 or 7 months after you do. Possibly then we'll see a revival, a reconnection to this relationship. But again, we're kind of seeing this take much longer because they are much slower to change their life, to change their circumstances, to change their situation than you are. So those are the things that we see. I guess we could describe that as them coming too late, pretty late. And maybe there'll be an opportunity, maybe there'll be an open door by that point. At this point, I don't think we should make our decisions or make our life plans around them, especially because they have had other opportunities, right? This isn't the last or the only chance that they have to kind of change their life. They've had opportunities to change their life, to change the situation, to change the relationship they have with you. And it kind of feels like this time they are reaching out. Them communicating is not enough, and I think that is kind of a difficult truth for you, but a truth that you are going to stand behind, a truth that you are going to accept. So yes, thank you, Lily. Thank you guys for all the love. We're going over to Joanna. So Joanna, if you're here, please let me know. If you guys are looking to get on the list for personal readings, this is your last chance to do that. I am closing the list in a few moments here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at it for you, Joanna. Thank you for coming back this afternoon. So you asked me, you said, is Bryant working on getting back with his ex? Is Bryant working on getting back with his ex? Yes, okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. Queen of Swords in reverse, 10 of Cups. No, but I do have some interesting information. It kind of feels like maybe they had reached out to their ex kind of in the last couple days before they saw you, 2 or 3 days before they saw you. I guess this isn't information or interesting information because it looked like they were rejected by the ex, I guess. So it did look like there was some communication again a couple of days before they saw you. It doesn't look like there has been communication. It doesn't look like they have been trying to work things out with their ex since then or since seeing you, but we do see communication briefly before, and I do feel like it's significant that the ex in question kind of rejected them. Maybe that's significant, maybe that had something to do with them kind of coming to you instead, but it's just something I wanted to mention since it's there. Here with the Knight of Wands, 5 of Cups in reverse, Ace of Cups. No, I don't think they're working on getting back with his ex. I don't think he wants to get back with his ex at this point. It feels like they are more focused on you. They have more of an interest in you, more of a romantic interest in you. It feels like they're desiring you and all the things. I guess what we're seeing here with the Wheel of Fortune, the card of the Lovers in reverse, 2 of Cups in reverse. Excuse me. Sorry, Joanna. And I guess what we're seeing overall is this person isn't the best, right? Isn't the best in terms of a relationship, being in a relationship, being consistent, showing up, showing effort, being mature. There are lots of things that Brian has, but there's also lots of things he doesn't have. And I think what we see is them having a lot of doubts over kind of being able to give you what you deserve, especially as we kind of talked about this morning, them not realizing it was going to feel as intense as it did, just kind of scaring them. They're thinking a lot about, okay, I'm kind of scared because I was trying to be single and I was trying to work on myself, and now I kind of had this person that I want to be in a relationship with, aka you, and I don't know if I should be because she probably deserves better than me, and kind of all those different thought spirals going on. But yes, that is what we're currently seeing. I'm not seeing the ex be in the picture at this current moment, or them plan for the ex to be in the picture anytime soon. But yes, thank you, Joanna. Thank you guys for all the love. The list is now closed, so thank you so much for your love, your energy this afternoon. I'm not accepting more payments at this time. We are coming to, let's see here, Janet, last but not least. You're last, you're just in time to be on my list for personal readings. So go ahead and let me know if you're ready for me, Janet. The list is closed, guys, so we are coming to Janet, and then I'm coming back to the free yes or no questions in the comments afterwards. I'm not accepting more payments at this time. Okay, great timing. Janet, let's go ahead and get into it for you. So you want to look at love between you and Matthew. Is he getting a place to move together timeline, and how will family meetings go and our trip to Europe? So let's just jump into kind of what we're seeing in the current energy. What can I tell you about what's to come? What is up? What is coming in with this connection? So it's a lot, right? And I think that's the first thing that I will say is you guys are very busy right now. The connection feels very busy. I will say we don't see this really quieting down anytime soon. I think you're going to continue to be very busy through October, very busy through November, very, very busy through December. This is a very busy kind of last period of the year for you. That is true. This is going to continue to be true in your relationship with Matthew, probably because you kind of have all of these different goals going on. I think it's significant. I think it's good that you're busy. It can be overwhelming at times. You will need to kind of create your own peace amidst the chaos, I guess, is something that we see coming in. I think communication is obviously key, especially in times of high stress, busy schedules. Communication will be really key. So we do see that coming in as a key consideration, not just for today or this week, but kind of from now all the way until the end of the year. In terms of moving in together, getting a place to move in together, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. It feels like it's taking a little while to find the right fit or to find the right place. We do see an offer being made, and we do see an offer being made, I guess, on the right place around 9 weeks from now, which does take us till the very end of the year, possibly beginning of next year. We are looking at kind of actually moving in, being ready to move in January, February, possibly as late as March, likely a little bit earlier, but we're kind of looking at up until March, not necessarily for buying the place, but actually moving into the place could be as late as March. So just bear that in mind. Those are the things that we're kind of seeing in the works right now. In terms of other things, you said, how will the family meetings go on our trip to Europe? I didn't want to check in on that. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, King of Pentacles. We're seeing them be very, very protective of you financially, want to take care of you professionally, financially, legally even, right? We kind of see these things coming in within the family meetings, and we kind of see them really standing up for you. I do think the family meetings are going to talk about finances a lot, are going to talk about the financial sides, possibly the legal sides, and I do believe it's kind of best to trust him, trust in what he has to say, trust in his plans, trust in his intentions, kind of give them that trust, and I think that trust will be rewarded from your side. And we're also seeing the trip to Europe be successful as well. Not necessarily peaceful. Again, I think Europe is going to be very, very busy, very exhausting in and of itself, but I do see you feeling very loved. I do see you feeling very cared for on that trip. I do see you feeling very appreciative. So I encourage you to enjoy it. Enjoy the chaos, enjoy the busyness of the next 2 or 3 months. It does look like things will start to calm down a little bit once you move in the new year. Again, we're looking at moving in possibly in January or February time, possibly buying or making the offer on a place very, very end of this year is what we're looking at. But yeah, all things feel very good right now. Sometimes it's hard to feel, or sometimes it's easy to feel like we're getting carried away with these physical things and we have this going on and this going on. I want you to remember that there's still a relationship in this. You guys care about each other, you love each other, hopefully you can lean on that connection and your communication, even though the end of the year looks very, very busy for you guys, and also going into beginning of next. Life is going to ebb and flow like it always does. There's going to be busier stages of life and slower stages of life, and I encourage you to kind of ride those waves, not separately, but together. So yes. Thank you so much, Janet. The list is closed, guys. I'm not accepting more payments at this time. I'm coming back now to the free yes or no questions in the comments, so do let me know your names, your questions. If you are looking for something more in-depth, the link in my bio is open outside of live for all my in-depth readings, in-depth reports, things like that, but I'm not accepting more payments at this time. I will be back tomorrow. Okay, Lee, you said, does T ever think about me? Page of Wands, yes. Helen, you said, am I overthinking? Am I overthinking? 3 of Cups in reverse, no, I don't think you're overthinking. Destiny, you said, will Mitchell reach out to communicate? Yes, you are looking at 3, possibly 4 days from now. Who else do we have? Janet, you said, will I be happy with Matthew? Yes, I think you'll be happy. More than happy, we see you will be peaceful with Matthew. You will find peace with Matthew. Lily, you said, will I see Rigo again soon? Page of Cups in reverse, no. Gabby, you said, is it in my best interest to move with Brian? Ace of Cups in reverse, no. Maybe you know that, maybe you sense that already. But no, I don't think that is in your best interest specifically. Okay, guys, I do have to love you and leave you for now. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever it is you get up to. I will be back tomorrow morning. If you need anything in the meantime, the link in my bio is open. My audio readings are 40% off right now, and all of my in-depth reports and in-depth readings are 30% off through the month of October. So check those out. I do fulfill those when I'm not on live. But yes, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you again.